The page is uploading, and we can start the subject and the questions for today. Okay, now we are on live on YouTube channel. So YouTube, good evening for all. We are now on live, and today, guys, we will talk about the power of reading. So I don't know if you already thought about this thing, but to read is a good thing for our mind, for our brain, and improve the curiosity, improve the imagination, and things that we can learn every day, and new things that we can learn. So today we will talk about this topic. So I will put the questions on the chat, and as we are here, let me know if you received the questions. It's okay? Okay. As we are here with 6 people, I think I will separate you in another room. Would it be? Okay. Just another room. Let me see. Okay. So guys, please accept the invitation of the another room, and 5 minutes before the end, I will call you back to the main room, okay? So see you soon. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we are here. Gabriel, Isabel, and we can start. I like the participation of you guys. So we can start with the question number 1, but after I read you, I will ask you for read the others. So guys, do you like to read? What is your favorite kind of book? What is your response for this question, Isabel? Do you like to read? And what is your favorite kind of book?
Well, I like to read. When I was young, I didn't like too much. I just remember that I read the books that schools ask us to read to make a test or something like that. But now I actually like to read, and the kind of book I think my favorite I think is like literature. I don't know if this term is correct. Literature, different histories,
Brazilian
fantasy.
or not, or other countries? Brazilian literature or not?
Recently, I read a Brazilian literature. I have this book here. This one. I have an effect. I don't know if you guys can read. No, I think no. But the book calls Submundo Hacker. I like very much this book, but I like books from other countries as well. I started to read Harry Potter, but I don't finish all the collections. And I think I like these literature books. And sometimes I read something that I can understand how words work. So sometimes I read economy books or politics books to understand how the things works. But my favorite, I think, is literature.
Good, so good. What about you, Gabriel? Do you like to read?
I don't know. Maybe.
You can talk your opinion, in fact, your opinion.
And like I like to read, I think, but I think it's like maybe
I think he frozen for me.
Yes, yes. Now I can see you.
Okay.
Okay,
And now,
okay.
because I'm here at the fire station. It's the internet
Okay, no
is
problem.
very,
You can try and go
very
ahead.
okay.
We wait for you. No problem.
Okay. Now it's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Like I said before, I think I like to read, but it's more I'm not gonna say, but seasonal. But there's some times that I like it much more than other times. So there was a time, like I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, no, 2 years ago, I bought a lot of books because I went to shopping and with my wife to eat, and there was a little store, like I don't know what can I say, but in the middle of the shopping with a lot of books, a cheap books. So
Okay.
I bought two books, and I don't know, and that's since and I forgot. When I bought these books, I don't know, maybe I started to read more, and I started to buy much more books, like and I bought, if I'm not mistaken, the first one is the box of Harry Potter, yeah, and it's very good. Receive our pack in my home and feel the smell of the paper. So I needed to buy some more, and I bought a lot of books, and I read only one, two. I don't know.
we have we have this period of our life that we bought a lot.
Yeah, but I would like to read, but I have no much time. I need to choose, yeah, right, or study English or read some books in English or study or read my books. So I prefer right now to study English. So then kind of book I like. I know I consider myself an eclectic person, but I think I like to read more books about history, mainly about World War II. I
Mhm.
like so much, and no, sorry. I like to read so much nowadays books in English, physical
Okay,
books.
good.
Sorry, doesn't physical books because I can find yet a physical books in English, but I read in my smartphone. I forgot the word. Even in Portuguese, against physical is online. I don't know.
I don't know. Kindle? No?
No, no, not Kindle, but I guess physical. Like I don't know, maybe, but it's my smartphone is in a physical books, and I nowadays I used to read in English, and I read
And
it.
digital
Yeah,
books.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
wrong. Thank you. And I've read it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 books in English
Good,
to try
good.
improve my English. It's in a net called EWWA in Portuguese. And this app is so good because I can read this book totally in English, and there is a translator of word of
Good.
total phrase, and I can to listen as well together. And very good.
Very, very good. I don't know if you feel the same, but when we bought a lot, we buy a lot books, we feel so smart, even though we don't read them. In my case, it's the same. I
I have
bought
this
a lot.
problem too.
Yes, we stay
Yeah, I
so
think I
smart.
have,
I read a lot.
yeah, I think I have 5 books here that I bought and received for present that
Good,
I don't read yet.
good, good. Yo, guys, about me. I like a lot to read, but I work with documents. I read articles and books every day, regulatory documents all my day, and I like to read them, especially scientific books that I needed to try to find the information. I work with the drug products, and I needed to justify the impurities, the toxicology of them. So I needed to study a lot every day. And then the end of the day, when I stop to work, I like to read books about stories, literature, um, things easy to read, you know. And maybe I was reading the Narnia Chronicles, do you know? The five they are 6 books, and they are so easy to read, so easy to understand, and I like a lot. And this kind of book. But I like a lot scientific books about impurities, toxicology, and this is my work, but I like a lot. So, okay. Isabel, can you choose a question for us? You can choose whatever you prefer of the list. You can skip.
Okay. I don't read
Go ahead.
all the questions, so I will read the second one.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Is there any special place you like to read? Do you think should it have any specific place to do that? Well, in my case, yes, I have some special place to read. Sometimes I like to read before I go to sleep, but for me, just works if I read a fantasy book, because if I need to read, for example, a book that I need to think about a lot, I couldn't read before I sleep. But I like to read in the bed, and I like to read in my university as well. All the I don't know this word in English, intervalo. The time, I don't know this term in English, but
we can say period of break,
period.
maybe.
Okay, break.
Break.
I like to
Yes.
read in break and sit in a good space that we have there too. And yes, I think these 2 places that come to my mind. And do you think should it have any do you think should it have any specific? If I think that exists some
Yes, if
special.
you
Okay.
understand that we should read in a specific place, maybe a silence place,
Okay. Yeah,
silent place.
I think it's a better situation, but I know that have people that can read in whatever place that these people want. So I think depends for the who is reading. But I think yes, it's important to have this place quiet and comfortable as well.
What about you, Gabriel? What do you think?
Well, I think I'm a little contrary than Isabel. They'll prefer read before to sleep, and I used to read when I wake up. Yeah, I don't know why, but I wake up and brush my teeth and take my breakfast, my coffee at the morning, and I used to lay down again, and read my books. And maybe because here in the south of Santa Catarina, right now, and that season, almost beginning the winter. It's more cold, and I love cold. And this period, yeah, this time in my home is more silence. So
Oh, he's
uh,
really
uh,
okay. Yes, we can see you. Okay,
and my unstable. Sorry.
no problem.
And sometimes I like it in the season in the winter I like so much and read and behind my home, and because there's this the sun and this very how can I say, I know the not sunshine is, I don't know, I sit in the at the floor with my dogs around me, and sometimes I prepare I don't gonna say chimarrão in English, but and read my chimarrão and read my books nowadays, my digital books in English, and to me it's my peace place, I think, if I read a book.
You think that there is a specific place to read for all people? What is your opinion about it?
No, so, a place for all people.
Yes, in your definition, your mind, you think that it should be a specific place to do that?
I got it like a library. That's it. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think
Mhm.
yeah. Like I live in a small city, small town. Here there are around 17 people, and here I think we haven't a library. Maybe I don't know. I have no idea. Seriously.
Yes, maybe in
But I would like to have a library to read some books, and the way a silence way it's so good, and to have in my like in my mind a lot of books to read, and to like to borrow, yeah, I'm taking to borrow this book. And I think this is the question or not.
yes, yes, this
Yeah.
is the question. Yes. Maybe if you live in a large, huge city, maybe there is a lot of noise and cars, bus, and people, other things, and you need to uh, you need to try to find a place to read. It's another situation, and I understand you. I live in Toledo. Here is a calm place, a calm city. Wherever I go, I can wait. I can find a place to read here. But
Yeah,
another
I
cities,
got it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I got it. Yeah, here in my city, we have a park. There is a park. There are in a park. I don't know, but there's a city. My neighborhood city here in Ishima. I don't know if you know the city, and Ishima is uh, bigger than my city. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know what they say, but 400,000 people. Yeah, 400,000 people. It's very, very big than my city, much
Yes.
more big than my city. And and the city, there are three parks, four parks, if I'm not mistaken. And there is one park specifically, this a good park where specifically on the weekend, there are a lot of people get together to run,
Good.
to make exercise, and I think it would be a good way to read some books as well. Right?
Oh, good. Good. Very good. And in my opinion, uh, in my house, I can read here. I like a lot to read at the living room or maybe at the bedroom, at the bed before to sleep. In my case, I prefer as well. I prefer physical books because as I work in a computer the entire day, I prefer to change to the physical book to rest my eyes. And I agree with you guys. There is no specific place to read. You can read whatever you prefer. But of course, I think I like silence. I like to be focus on that book, and maybe a comfortable place. It's important as well. So that's it. That's it. This is my opinion. And Gabriel, can you choose another question for us, please? Okay, we
Yeah, let
We
me
have
see.
10 questions. Okay.
I don't know, maybe the next one, number 3, can be. Okay.
Yes.
How does reading improve vocabulary, and how about memory? Oh, it's a good question. Mainly to me, I don't know, because I use it to read a lot to improve my vocabulary and my mind, my opinion, and my reality. I need to improve my vocabulary. I need to learn much more vocabulary and earn more vocabulary. Because I have my point of view that I need to know a new word, new phrase, and or I can speak here. So, and my first course that I started 2 years ago, there was an app called Manhack. Maybe you know about another name, uh, for another name, maybe Ant. It's an app about memorization. Memorization is about phrases, a lot of phrases. Nowadays, I have around 2,500 phrases to read during my weeks. So I think it's very important to read, to improve vocabulary and as a memorization phrases of words in general. And what else I can see? I don't know,
Especially
but
in English to learn a new
yeah.
word every
Yeah,
day. So
this case,
important.
I'm talking about it in English. Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
Yeah, and in Portuguese, I don't know, because it's our mother language. Like, I'm not gonna say lingua materna, but maybe mother language. In English helped me a lot to read a book. Nowadays, I'm postponed, unfortunately, but I don't know, maybe because I was reading a hard book to me with I think isn't a new word, but is a old word. I don't know, maybe a old book with a word like more polite, more formal words like our uh, older, our old Portuguese.
Formal communication
Yeah,
and to
exactly.
import.
More, I'm not gonna say, but I forgot antigo in English, but maybe old language.
Old,
Like,
yes,
yeah,
old can
yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. I think for that reason, but I figured out another book with normal language to me, so I will I will start. I think maybe tonight.
But it's so good because even in Portuguese, maybe sometimes I learn a new word. For example, last week I learned the word aneddote, anedota. This word exists in English, anecdote, and it is a brief explanation of something that you do, And for me, it was new. And it's so good. I learned it an adult. It's so good, so good. What about you, Isabel? What do you think about question number 3?
Well, I I think may in English books or another language books, I think yes, this improve vocabulary. And I think this is a conscient thing because, for example, we Brazilian people or another country that don't speak English, for example, we read books in English main to understand the new language and improve our vocabulary. So it's a conscient thing. But in Portuguese books, I don't know. In my experience, I never think about it if I learn some words, new words when I read a book. Maybe I know more words or improve my vocabulary reading these Portuguese books, but I don't remember.
The use of porque, the 4 porquês
Yeah,
of Portuguese.
my God, it's difficult for
It's
me
so,
in these
yes,
days.
for me
I
too.
I think it's difficult to understand. And actually, when I use the 4 porquês, sometimes I need to search what's the correct porquês that I need to.
It is hard even to us. And
Yeah.
we read books, we try to understand, to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Portuguese books are important to learn the correct punctuation of Portuguese, the correct use of the words, especially this kind of words, porque, other words. And it is important to, when I need to write in an email in Portuguese, I needed to write the correct Portuguese and explain in a formal way, try to use good words. So for me, it's important to read in Portuguese as well. But in English, of course, guys, to learn a new word every day, to learn the punctuation as well, because it's so different than Portuguese, the English punctuation, the use of the words, the 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 comprehension of the sentences for me is so important. And about the second question, and how about memory? I think so. I think to read improve the memory as well, because when we read, we create the story in our mind. We improve the curiosity, the creativity, and we active some points of our brain, our mind, that the uh, uh, how can I say, our brain is working in a healthy way. So for me, in my opinion, yes, it could.
I think helps in logical. You
Yes,
know, because we need to connect informations and some kinds of books we need to understand a difficult phrase and sometimes read more than one time, and I think this
yes,
helps in
of
logical as
course,
well.
of course. I agree. So, guys, I will choose a question. It's my turn. Uh, okay. Um, question number 5. Do you know what is speed reading? What are some common myths about speed readings? Reading, speed reading. This kind of reading, do you know, guys? Do you know, Isabel? Do you know, Gabriel? Leitura rápida. aquela leitura otimizada que o pessoal fala. Do you know what is speed reading and what are some common minds about speed reading? What do you think, Isabel?
Mm, I don't know if these people just
Read the
read
one
very
page
fast.
by in 5 minutes. This kind of reading, for
Okay,
example,
count
do
the
you know?
time.
Yes,
Okay.
os concurseiros,
Ah,
they read a lot. I was a concurseira, guys, but
um,
there is a lot of techniques to read, and
mhm,
one of them is speed reading. You read so fast and you understand all things that you read. So this question is about this kind of the
mhm.
dynamic reading, for example.
Okay. Yeah, if these people understand what they are reading and learn about it, I think no problem. But in my opinion, and for my case, sometimes I need to read more times just one type of page, for example. Sometimes I don't understand something and I need to back and read again. And I like to read with calm as well. No, for me, uh, that happened because in this case, and using this methodologic, reading with calm works for me to understand the things that I can learn.
Good, so good. What about you, Gabriel? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I share the same thoughts as Abel. I think it depends of the your activity. Like the person will be made a test like you said concurso público. I don't know this term in English. I think it works maybe because you need to read as much more as you can, and I think it's very important. And but talking about another books like story books that I like to read, like fictional books. Yeah, I know. So like I like to read as well Harry Potter and Sherlock Holmes and another one, Assassin's Creed. I think you need to read more calmer, like Isabel said, because you need to like put yourself inside the history. You need to feel the history in general. You need to feel like the characters. You need to feel the place. And I think you need to read more like calmer. I think the correct word. And I don't know if you like me. There are a lot of book and need to end up maybe works with me. So only to have a feeling to and to see, oh, I ended my all my books.
Yes. When we have a lot of books, we feel so smart, but we need to read them. It is not only to have them, but also read them. And I didn't read all my books. I'm seeing them right now, and I can see that I needed to read 10, more than 10 that I have. So yes, especially we this kind of speed reading, I think it is a technique. Some people uh, try, uh, they play, they do that, a lot of some techniques to do the speed reading. In my case, I totally agree with you. I prefer to read calmly, and maybe I needed to read it twice, the same paragraph to understand the point. And of course, I'm in a period of my life that I needed to do each thing in each time. So I try to do this thing, and then I concluded, okay, I will do this thing now. So I'm stopping to do all things, a lot of things in the same time. So when I read, I like to have my time to read and not to apply any technique. Even I'm trying to understand a scientific point. I focus on that point. I try to understand. I read again, and this is the point here. So, Isabel, can you choose another question? We have a time yet.
Okay. Let me see. Mm, Okay, we choose number 9. In your opinion, nowadays people are more or less interesting. Sorry, people are more or less interested in reading. Oh my god. um. So, in my opinion, I think they are more or less, but I see the people with my age, because I don't know if oldest people like to read more. I don't know. My parents, for example, don't read. I don't know if this is a common thing or just for them. But looking for people with my age, I think are more or less. And the people who likes reading, I think they like to read more fantasy. People with my age, but I don't know if I'm correct. But see, people that I know, I think this is a common thing. And youngest people, I have a sister, is the youngest. She don't read a lot, but nowadays I give to her a book, a fantasy book as well, for teenagers, and she likes. So maybe she needs some books with this kind of type to read more. But I think it's not a common thing as well. So in my opinion,
What
less.
is your perception about the patient that the youngest people are
Mm.
uh, seen? For example, the teenagers and even children, they have
Mhm.
patience to read an entire book, because
Mhm.
I have listened of a lot of people a perception about children and teenager that use a lot of smartphone. They don't
Yes.
have it. What is your
Mhm.
perception?
Yes, I agree. I think they're not have patience to finish a book or finish a difficult activity
Yes.
or an activity that you need spend more time and concentration to do that. And yeah, I think a lot of information that we have and cell phones as well, and we are doing a lot of things in the same moment. I think this is difficult for youngest people and for people, I think all the ages, because I look, for example, for example, my boyfriend, he has a difficult to finish a book because he's thinking another things and it's difficult for him to concentrate. So, as I think we don't have patience to finish that.
Okay. What about you, Gabriel? What do you think?
Yeah, I think nowadays, like Gabriel said, depends on the age. But I realize even my parents or my close family, like my siblings, that is not my brother. That unfortunately, because the addiction of the screens, like mainly smartphones, the people unfortunately can don't wanna to read more. Like I like so much soccer, and I read a lot about soccer in general. And there are a lot of posts on Facebook, maybe sometimes a long post. And when I will read the comments, there are a lot of people and talking asking like a summary about the some person
Yes.
can summary to summary this post. And so I think maybe this kind of this action maybe fit on like Isabel said about, and you said as well about the patient. I think that nowadays the person there have less patience. And I think that's it, because it's the things are is easier, so you can, I don't think correct, but it is give a Google, like give it, I have sure give it isn't correct, but maybe you can Google and figure out a lot of things and find a lot of things with only one or two clicks, and have a summary about uh, whichever thing you want. And what else I can talk. Maybe I think our days are very built as well. Like all of us work uh, every day, because we need to only not usually the at the weekends to have a rest. And you can to rest, you can watch some movies, you can dance, anyway. So I think for that reason the person nowadays are less reading are less reading, yeah.
Good. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Hello, guys. Welcome again. I would like to know how was the conversation on the other room. Jacqueline, how was the conversation for you?
It was great conversation.
Good.
And we stopped uh, seven question. I guess
Okay,
that's it, Luis and Naya.
good.
Yeah, it's a good
Good.
conversation.
Well, for me it was very difficult talking about this topic, because I am not read too much. I must read more, but I'm don't doing this, so it's difficult to talking about that one thing that you don't do it. So,
No
but
problem.
it's awesome to talking with Jacqueline and with.
Oh, good. What about you, Luis? How was the conversation for you?
Well, it was very good. We talk about 7 questions. I think I've been heard different opinions, and it's very good.
Yes. Here we heard a lot of opinions as well. And this is so important to talk about books, because nowadays people have digital books, as Gabriel likes digital books. I like too, but I prefer physical books when I'm not working. I spend all my day in front of a computer, so other time I prefer physical books, and it's so important. We try to read more. I need to read more as well, guys, because as we are talking and laughing a lot, we buy a lot of books and we feel so smart to buy them, but we don't read, just buy. It is
Yeah,
a problem.
I bought 2 books in January and I don't read yet. So
Yes, this is the point. This is the point. Okay. So,
As a Gabriel,
one
I
day.
like so much books. I have a Kindle. It's a special.
Good. So good, guys. So, guys, we have a survey about this meeting. I put the link on the chat. And this is just to understand how we could improve our meetings. If you have any suggestion to subject, a new thing to talk about in these meetings, or something that we could improve in our meeting, so feel free to put your opinion on that. And I'd like to thank you so much for your time here. I hope you have a good night, a good weekend. And guys, this is the Mother's Day, I think it's Sunday. I don't remember correctly, but have a good Sunday day. And of course, I hope to see you on the next Wednesday. Thank you so much, guys. And bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye
Bye